Good morning, traders. Welcome to today's market review. This is Fred Razak at CMTrading. Today is February 7, 2023, and today is Tuesday morning. So looking at the highlights of the day, the market's tapering off as they've digested much of the economic events over the last couple of weeks. But first, looking at today's major economic events at 7 p.m. South African time out of the United States, we have Fed Chairman Powell will be speaking in relation to last week's interest rate decisions. Now, as we look at the various markets, starting out with the Forex symbols, they're pretty much tapering off. However, we're watching the British pound actually bounce, looking at the indices really unchanged from day to day. And as we look at commodities, both gold and oil bouncing off support. Now, looking at the stocks, Tesla trading on resistance while the rest of the markets are just tapering lower. And lastly, looking at cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin just unchanged. So let's take a look at the markets and see what we can expect from today's trading. So we're going to start out with the Euro USD on a daily chart, and you can see pretty much we are unchanged from day to day, from yesterday to today, just dipping a little bit below that 107.30-ish level. We dipped another 20 pips from yesterday, but nothing really to write home about. You can see that further decline as the euro tanks and the dollar getting stronger. Now, this has happened already, but we're bouncing off this level of 117.17, so it's not a big move. Looking at the GBP USD, it's a little bit of a bigger move in terms of our bounce, but still hasn't really recovered, so we're tapering off and just sitting on supportish level. Now, as we jump into commodities, let's take a look at gold. Gold finally bouncing after that debacle the other day. 1875 is where we're trading. So a nice 20-point move, $10 each day. Okay, we can, still bounce to 1900. Okay, that would be my next real resistance-ish level when I look at gold. Now, looking at crude oil, we were back to the $72, just hitting it, $72.95. And then bouncing off of it, we're back at $75. So this has really been a great trade just to trade the levels, right, between that $72 and that $81, $82. So it's been in a $10 range over the past couple of weeks. Now, looking at the U.S. markets, unchanged. Okay, we're looking at the Dow Jones trading at 33,900. No big deal there. Just trading sideways, okay, digesting what's going on in the markets. The NASDAQ also just trading really sideways after, taking a little bit of a breather. And when we look at the individual stocks, let's take a look at Tesla, because that has really gone on to a nice level. Now, we're looking all the way back to December of this year, and you can see that we're back at that level, 194, and that was almost 50% move, okay, 100% move from 194 down to about $95, and now it's back to $194. So it's been in that V formation. There is significant resistance here, so I do anticipate it probably will sell off unless there's some positive news. Now, when we look at the other major stocks, Tesla, Microsoft selling off here, closing that gap. Apple also selling off a little bit after hitting that 156-ish level, which is resistance as well. And if we look at some of the other high tech, Intel trading lower. Okay, now this is really important because Intel was the one that brought us to our lows to begin with, if you remember, back from August going into September. Now, this is really very important because Intel's a very important stock for us to understand in terms of how the markets are reacting in terms of consumer confidence, because this is where all the chips are being made and then they're being produced into the products like Apple stuff. Well, not really Apple stuff, but any of the products that we are using is really going into Intel. If there's a backdrop of orders there, then that's going to affect the rest of the market as well. Now, lastly, let's take a look at Bitcoin, just trading unchanged at 22,900. So this is holding its own and not selling off, but I would keep an eye on it. If it does break that 22,500-ish level, we could see a correction on the downside. But don't think that, okay? Just let it come to you. There's no big particular trade to jump into right here, but if it does start jumping at 23,000, that may take us a little bit higher back to that 24,000. So keep that in perspective. This is Fred Razak. I want to wish you guys a great trading day. Thank you.